Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your girl, Bridge. Um, I decided to bring the video out here this time in front of my lovely, exciting, festive holiday tree. I just thought, it's nice out here. Well, before I begin talking about what I want to start talking about, I just want to say thank you to those of you who are back from my previous video, and welcome to those of you that are here listening to this. And I just really appreciate all the feedback and comments that I got from so many people sharing their experiences. And yeah, it was really overwhelming and exciting, and gives me confidence that I'm here doing the right thing. So thank you. Today is a bit of an addendum to talking about failure and that emotional roller coaster. Not to be judgmental of myself, but there it is. I wanted to talk about perfectionism, and I guess maybe from the perspective of being an INFJ, because that's the lens through which I see the world, and also as a Enneagram 1 wing 9, if that's your cup of tea. That's kind of where I stand. So yeah, I'm definitely a perfectionist, but maybe not so much in the traditional sense of the word. The traditional sense of the word. I wanted to talk about perfectionism in terms of showing up as a person and as a human being, and how that gets in my way, on this journey of me trying to come out of my shell and be more authentic and not hide so much anymore. So I don't really know how to get started, but I guess I want to talk about how perfectionists are really just people that are afraid of making mistakes and feeling feelings and showing who they really are to the world, at least in the sense of the word that I'm talking about. So what I usually do is play this really fun game where I notice qualities about other people that I really like. And I feel like when I meet people and when I become friends with people, I rarely focus on or really even notice the things about them that maybe are negative, but I really hone in on the positive, very likable qualities about them that I want to see in myself. And I sometimes, that sounds really positive and nice, but I also play this game with myself of, okay, well, if I could just, learn how to be really funny like that person, and then really, cerebral and mysterious and, unattainable like that person, and intelligent and witty and be able to carry all these facts like that person, and so on and so forth, all these different qualities. If I can just learn how to be every person at their best, then I would finally be an acceptable human being. People would find me likable if I could just be everything that they are, which is so ridiculous. And like my husband said, if you could do all that, you'd just be an Egyptian god. And at that point, I mean, he's right. At that point, like, who would you wouldn't be able to be friends with anyone on earth, and you wouldn't be likable in any kind of tangible or relatable way, because you would just be embodying everything. So yeah, that's incredibly idealistic, and that's about how extreme it can go. I don't know if that's a totally INFJ thing, but I think as INFJs, we are really visionary people. Like, we can see something that we want to attain, maybe, I don't know, in the physical world sometimes, or just on a self-improvement level. We have like this vision of who we are, or what we want our lives to be, or the way that we want to show up in the world, and we hold ourselves to that standard. But I think in a lot of ways it's just really, it's too perfect. And I think we need to realize, and as Enneagram 1s too, we want to change the world and make it a better place, in almost a too idealistic, too perfect way. And I think if we can realize that on a fundamental level, that's what we're doing, and that maybe our vision isn't something that actually exists, but it's still, worthy of being worked towards, that would be a healthier way to maybe show up in the world and live our lives. So essentially, enjoying the journey to becoming the person that you want to be, instead of beating yourself up and layering judgment on top of judgment for not being everything that you think that you're supposed to be. So in addition to that, another thing that I've been doing, and I mean, I don't mean to come off as like trying to give advice. I'm working on this. Obviously, this is why I'm here, but I think talking about these things and just, being open and acknowledging, like laying out what we're struggling with, is the first step to actually dealing with it in a real way. So on top of that, a way that I'm trying to deal with this kind of perfectionist streak and not showing up in the world because I don't feel like I embody the amazing things that every other personality type embodies, trying to write down or remember the things that are great about you. I know that sounds cliche again, but I really think it works. And also something that I've done is doing some inner child work lately, which for me just entails like going back and either like looking at pictures or watching videos of myself and saying kind things to that young Bridget that I see, in those pictures, and things that now from an outsider's perspective I would admire about that person. And really leaning into that. So I think that is a way that we can overcome some of those struggles with perfectionism and not living up to our ideals. Remembering that we don't give ourselves enough credit for the good qualities that we embody and the, wonderful quirks and things that other people don't have. And then being grateful to have people in your life that have, different strengths and wonderful things about them that you can enjoy, and not necessarily have to take them on as a part of you. And also realizing that, just because someone is the funniest person in the room, or the most beautiful person in the room, or, well-spoken or serious and put together, or just like an all-out, extroverted goofball, that they also have things that they are maybe feel like they're lacking, and that life is a big 50-50. Like, we're all in some way amazing and terrible at the same time, and that's that middle spot, and acknowledging those two sides of us is really what makes us human. It makes us relatable as people. Not being perfect is coincidentally a more perfect way to be as a person, and showing up in that way. So I hesitated making this for a while, making all of the stuff that I want to make for a while because I didn't think it would be good enough or wild enough or, you know, funny or serious or all these things. Like I hold myself to all of these different standards, and to just get on here and do it, yeah, I don't know, that feels really good. And I can always come back and talk about this some more. So I'll just leave you with that. That's kind of my struggle with perfectionism and not wanting to show up. And I'm trying to work on just being happy with what I have in the moment right now, and enjoying having that visionary side of myself, but also trying to remind myself that I've done a lot to get here and there's still a long way to go. And that journey is exciting, and living in that and enjoying that. Because if I was already perfect, I would have nothing to do on this planet. So here I am. Thank you for coming back and for being here and watching this. I hope that you gleaned something from it, and yeah, really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, and I will be here next week with maybe something completely different. Who knows? All right, thank you so much. Bye.